Hello everyone, welcome back to our incredible 100 days challenge. So it's day 5 and today we are going to talk about continuous integration known as CI. So in this video, we are going to take your DevOps skill to the next level and we are going to cover CI, where exactly it fits in the DevOps lifecycle, what exact role it plays in our modern software development. Also, we will cover how it is different than traditional environment. After learning about CI, we will also walk you through how you can implement CI in your project, how it works step by step. By the end of this video, you will learn about the most popular CI tools and also understand where it can be used. So if you are ready, then without wasting time, let's get started. But don't forget to subscribe this channel, like this video and share with your friend. So let's talk about agenda for today. So we will start from the very basic what is CI, where it stands in DevOps lifecycle and what is the role of CI. Then we will understand how CI works and how to implement CI step by step. After that, we will understand why CI is important, means we will talk about the benefits. Next, we will talk about the most important CI tools and we will understand when we should use these tools. In the end, we will talk about best practices to follow to use CI in DevOps pipeline. Now let's start with what is CI. CI stands for continuous integration. So CI is a software development practice in which developer integrate code into a shared repository frequently, preferred several times in a day. Each integration can then be verified via automated build and automated test. So these automated build and test is done by CI tools. So the goal of CI is to catch errors in the early stage itself, so before they can cause problems in the production. So the most important thing about CI, whenever you recall CI, just understand it's a build the application from the source code after a developer made the changes, and top of that application it perform the automated test. So if there is any issue, it will notify developers to fix them. Now let's understand how CI works. So as you know, right, developer writes the code for our application. So that is the first step of our development life cycle. After the planning and everything is done, then developers write the code. And what they do, they share this code whenever they commit it. The second step is it is pushed into the shared repository. Then we have the third step where the CI tools come into picture. What actually they do, once the developer commit the code to the source code repository that is shared, and this shared repository is configured with this CI tool. So whenever there is a change happen in the code, CI server is notified of the change and automatically build the code. So the task of this CI tool is to build application from the source code and run automated test on top of that code. If the test is passed, if test is passed, then it is pushed to the and confirm to the for the next phase. If the test got failed, then what happens, it will come to this direction and it will be notified to developer that you need to make some changes as the code is failed. So code will not be deployed to the development environment. So our CI tool role is just for the development phase. So what are these CI tools, sir? These tools can be your Jenkins, it can be your Travis CI or Circle CI. It's all depend on the situation and depend on your configuration which tool you are using. So these are the tools which help us to build and automate the task for the build. So these are the tools which help us to build application from the source code and also run the automated test on those code. So let's summarize this one. What will happen step by step? First step is developer commit the change in the source code. Second step, CI server get notified. Once it got the notification, then it run. Here CI server runs automated tests. In the fourth step, we will get the understanding if the code is pass or fail. If the it is passed, then it will be moved forward to the CD, means continuous delivery phase. If it is get failed, notified. developer. So if fails, it will be notified to developer. So these are the five phases in which our CI works. Now let's understand how CI is different than traditional development. So let's discuss. So what happens in traditional development if we talk about team works independently for weeks or even for months, which actually lead to integration headache later point of times. For example, now you are working on one component here, other team is working here, other team, there are different teams working on different modules, right? But after some point of time, what will happen when we connect these components for any service or application? There might be possible that there is some issue in this component, then what the blame game is started or it's not working or something like that, it happens, and then again they need to go back. Similarly, if there is some bugs here, then what will happen? We have already spent weeks or months, right? We are getting about the issue after weeks or months, so it's really hard to work on that one, and it will increase your delivery timeline. But on the other hand, in CI, developers merge their code, means in the module wise they merge their code frequently, sometimes multiple times in a day itself. So this ensures that everybody is on the same page. And if there is any issue on a small code, what we works today, then we can fix that one right immediately. Then next time whenever we will merge, we can see that that issue which occurred in the morning is fixed in the evening or not, otherwise next day. So here potentially we can cover or fix the issue on the same day or the next day or even within a week we can fix it. But in the traditional environment, what is happening, we have to wait for weeks and months to just to understand that there is an issue in any one of the component, right? So it's increasing the timeline. Here we are reducing timeline. That is what the purpose we are having with DevOps. Now let's talk about benefits of CI. Although there are many benefits, but we are here going to talk about these five benefits. First benefit we are having, it increases the code quality. So how it increase the code quality? By catching errors in the early stage itself. So for example, if a developers makes a mistake in their code, so what CI process do? It will build the application, perform automated test, and in the result it will get failed. So what will happen after it get failed? It will notify to developers so they can work on that one and fix that issue. So this allows the developer to fix the error well before it can be deployed to the production. This is how it increase the code quality. Next benefit we are having, it reduce the risk of defects. CI can also help to reduce the risk of defects being introduced into the code. This is because the CI process will run automated test on the code every time it is committed to the source code repository. Because once you commit the changes in the repository, it will automatically trigger the notification to the CI tool that will help us to again perform the task of build that automated test. So these tests can help to identify and fix defects in the early stage itself. Now let's talk about third benefit, that is improved collaboration. CI can also help to improve collaboration between developers by making it easier to share code and track changes. So this is because the CI process will store a record of all the changes that had been made to the code. So this information can be used by developers to see what changes have been made to the code and who made them. So this is how it improved the collaboration. Next is, it helps us to faster the development cycle. CI can help to speed up development cycle by automating the automate, build, and test. This means that developer do not have to manually build and test their code every time they make a change. This can free up developers time so they can focus on other tasks such as writing new code or fixing the issues what they got in the early stage. Next benefit we are having, it increases the visibility, as we mentioned that it provide a record of all the changes that have been made to the code. So this information can be used by developers, managers, and other stakeholders to track the process of the development process and identify if there is any potential problem. So this is how CI help us in many ways. Now it's time to discuss how to implement CI step by step. So the first step is we need to choose the CI tool what we are going to use. So that means we need to set up or configure that tool for our use. So this tool can be anything like Jenkins, Circle CI, Travis CI. We are having other tools also like GitLab CI/CD, GitHub Actions, TeamCity, or Bamboo. So there are many tools that we will discuss in this video after some time. Next step is to configure the connection between the CI server and shared code repository. Share code repository. Why it is required? So we will get the notification that if there is any changes in the code. So we will get the notification on the CI server. After that, it will work on its tasks like building and automated testing. Next step is we need to write the automated test for our code that we want to run. Next step is here we need to configure CI server to run the automated test based on the changes happened in the code. Once the code will be changed, it will be committed to the shared code repository. Then we will get the notification on the CI server. After that, it will run this automated test. So for that one, we need to configure it. So this is how we need to implement CI in our project. Now let's talk about the most important CI tools what we are having and understand quick explanation what type of tool it is and when it should be used. That is more important because we should understand when we can use this tool because there are many tools available in the market, but which tool is suitable for us, we need to understand that. So first tool is Jenkins. Jenkins is actually a open source automation server which is having a ecosystem of plugins for customizing a CI/CD workflow. So the thing is, whenever organization is looking for extensive customization and flexibility in CI/CD pipeline, then they should use Jenkins tool. So when it should be customization and flexibility. So when you are looking for customization and flexibility, Jenkins is the best tool we are having. Next tool is Travis CI. Travis CI is actually cloud-based CI service which is optimized for GitHub registry repository. So it's a good option for open source project which is hosted on GitHub and teams looking for quick setup and automation. Now let's talk about Circle CI. Circle CI is a cloud-based CI/CD platform with support for Linux and Mac OS environment. Also, it supports Docker and Kubernetes. So it's a great tool and suited for the teams that need a scalable and container-centric CI/CD solution. So mainly it is used for container-centric. Next tool we are having GitLab CI/CD. It's an integrated CI/CD solution which is tightly coupled with GitLab repository. So, so it provides a single platform for code hosting and automation. So it's ideal normally for the teams which is using GitLab for their source code management and seeking an all-in-one solution. So if your project is using GitLab, then it's a good tool or we can say great tool for you. Next tool we are having GitHub Actions. So it's a again a native CI/CD solution which is integrated with GitHub repository as the name mentioned. It's allow you to define workflows using the YAML files in your repository. So it's ideal for GitHub users, which is who is looking for a seamless CI/CD experience within the GitHub ecosystem. So if your project is using GitHub, then this tool is good. If you are using GitLab, then this tool is good. If you are looking for container based, then Circle CI is good. Travis CI is cloud based service. So if you are using GitHub repository and looking for cloud solution, that Travis CI is good. If you are looking for more customization and flexibility, then Jenkins tool is good option. So these are just 5 important tools we have covered. I am working on preparing full sheet of different tools that I'll share on the Telegram. So don't forget to join me on Telegram also. So guys, it's a time to learn about the best practices to follow while implementing CI in your environment. So first is automation. It means you need to automate everything you can do in your CI pipeline because it's an automated process where CI tools is configured with the source code repository. If there is any change in the source code, it will get be notified. And once the automated test will be passed, then it will be automatically passed to the next phase. Second best practice is keep build times short. So in this case, faster feedback is crucial. So as you know, we are using DevOps pipeline to shorten the life cycle, and that means we want to reduce the time and all. So that's why we need to keep the build time very short. So how we can do it after getting faster feedback? Third best practice is to use version control. That means version everything. So as you know that version control help us to track the changes, right? So it's always good to have the different version whenever there is any changes, just to notify that it's an updated version. So what will happen if you think that new version is not working properly? You have the option to choose and go back to the previous version. Next practice is security scanning. Always try to integrate security checks in between for your code, so you will not get stuck later point of time when it will go to the security validation. So it's always good to have a security scanning in the early stage itself. Next best practices, try to implement feedback loop. Feedback loop continuously gather feedback, so you will always have the opportunity to improve your application. That will help you to shorten the life cycle of your software development. So these are the 5 phases. First is automation. Automate everything whenever possible, means always try to automate your CI pipeline. Faster feedback, keep build time short, version everything, security scanning, and feedback loop. So these are the 5 best practices you should follow. So guys, that's it in this video. I hope you find this video helpful. If you're not yet subscribed, then click on subscribe button, like this video and share with your friends. I'll share all the cheat sheet and these guides in our Telegram channel. So join that one from the description box. So join me tomorrow with a new concept related to DevOps and cloud. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep transforming.